What's the biggest mountain you've ever had to face? We've all had them. Maybe you're climbing one right now. Maybe it was a diagnosis, a phone call, the time of loss, a moment that split your life into before and after. For me, it was in 2007. A car crash. It broke my neck. In fact, it nearly broke me. A doctor telling me I'd likely never walk again. A future that felt like it disappeared in a split second. In a moment, the mountain in front of me didn't just feel massive, it felt insurmountable. But over time, something began to shift like tectonic plates. People stepped in. They stepped up. They stepped forward, supporting me. You were those people. You are those people. It allowed me to take one small step, and then another, and another. And that's when I came across this quote. You don't have to move the whole mountain, just move your stone. This quote's been with me for years. A simple but profound truth. If there's one message I hope that you carry with you from tonight, it's this. Because here's the truth. None of us can do it all. In fact, none of us can do it alone. But each of us can do something. And if we all move our stone, our part, our voice, our effort, we can collectively move mountains together. You see, in life, one voice is powerful. It can be profound. But many voices create this rigor of noise that cannot be ignored. Like the analogy of the stick, one is easily picked up and broken, but a pile of them, they become unbreakable, unshakable. And when each of us moves in unison with heart, conviction, and purpose, we don't just change lives, we change legacies. 18 years ago, I faced this mountain head on. It looked much bigger than Mount Baldy as I know it. In fact, it was my Mount Everest. A crash, a broken neck, a spinal cord injury at the cervical fifth vertebrae level. A doctor's voice telling me that walking again might never be possible. And it changed as quickly as I just said. In those early days, it felt like I was buried under that mountain, physically, emotionally, mentally. It took its toll. What once felt limitless now felt incredibly confining. And that's when something remarkable happened. You showed up. Donors, many of whom I didn't even know, they moved these stones aside for me. You gave generously. You extended perspective when mine was narrow. You wrapped me in love and in support when I didn't even know how to ask for it. And slowly the weight began to lift. Unfortunately, it's reoriented itself right here, but that's a conversation for another time. But at the fog that I looked out at, it suddenly began to clear. You helped me see that there was still life ahead of me. A life worth living, a life worth committing to, growing in and building through. And it's because of that belief that I began to move my own stones, one at a time. I continue to remind myself that I have to go through things to get things. And these things that I want to get, the first one was be perfect. This grassroots foundation that has stood the test of time for nearly 2 decades. In a young 17-year-old's mind, it was simply just an idea that garnered clarity over time because of you. It became a vision. And because of you, it's become a reality. Together, we've raised $10 million for this community. But what makes me proud isn't the amount. It's what we've done with the amount and our time. 99.9% of our program services are because of you and the dollars you give. Because no one takes a salary. We don't have paid staff, meaning that we stay true to what we do. As a 100% volunteer organization, that means that every dollar you give goes straight to therapy sessions like Adler's and Natalie's and Chelsea's. Serving the people in the lives of those in this community so people like Rosa can do more with her gifts, and people like Christian can serve our country. And people like Chelsea can liberate a whole community, and Natalie can lead with her attitude to leave an impact on you and I. And Adler can get right back to the starting line so he can finish his race. You've helped these people not just survive, but continue their story. You've given them the means to heal, to recover, to believe in something again. You've allowed them to pursue the possibility of just one more time. The pursuit of joy, freedom, independence. And in a world where so many people with paralysis are forced to choose between basic needs and progress, you stepped in to say, I've got you, and we'll walk this with you. But from there came the perfect step. Therapy, recovery, a center, a place of healing, where people there are much more than just their diagnosis. We address physical healing, yes, but we do so much more. We build a network. We create belonging, a community, purpose, and hope. Many people with paralysis are confined by their bodies. Some of them even more than just their bodies, also their minds. Also, in a physical sense, they're confined by the walls of their homes, their limitation to access, and the isolation that often comes with an injury and diagnosis. The perfect step pushes down those walls and moves those stones with partners like Casa Cleaner, partners like the Triumph Foundation, and many more. We can create a place where people begin to live again. Something they once believed was no longer possible, because for so long they tied this idea of living to their ability to move. Little do we know, moving is only a constitution in our mind. That is the determination of how we live. Living is this mindset. It's deliberate. It's a choice to show up, to engage, to grow. It's waking up and deciding with delineation that your life, my life, still has value, meaning, purpose, and just maybe your pain and purpose can intersect. That's what real living is. At the perfect step, we don't just help people move again. We help them believe. We help them rebuild a life beyond just survival, but one that's filled with identity, possibility, and purpose. And now, Wings for Life. I've stepped into a role as a global captain ambassador for Wings for Life. They are the not-for-profit organization of Red Bull. Yes, Red Bull, the energy drink. They do give you wings. I've taken on this purpose to advocate for a global community that's tied to this global company that has one profound mission: to solve this very challenging mountain that I sit amongst you living. While things like the Perfect Step and the Be Perfect Foundation address the here and now, it's organizations like Wings for Life that might allow me and us to move beyond it. Wings for Life is a nonprofit organization that has a singular goal: to cure this injury. And what's incredible, the old adage of we're 5 years away from a cure. It's not just talk anymore. I actually believe it. Wings for Life has funded over 300 research projects raised over $54 million for research towards a cure. And if the Be Perfect Foundation and the Perfect Step can continue to help people right now, we can prepare them for the future of what may come in the form of resources, recovery, purpose, and a cure. A world where we don't just survive paralysis, but we can actually overcome it. A world where one day I'll walk alongside of each and every one of you, or at the very least, Andre in heaven. And I owe that to every one of you for the steps you've walked alongside of me. That's the mountain I try to move every single day. And each of these organizations, Be Perfect, the Perfect Step, and Wings for Life, are the stones I'm moving to do it. You see, of all the mountains I've faced, of all the ones I've tried to overcome since my injury, one of the most personal ones, the one that I thought would stand permanently pat in my life, was the ability to become a father. It's one of the first questions that many of us ask when we're injured. Will I ever be able to have children? And for years, that question haunted me. Through 4 years of infertility and nearly a half a dozen lost embryos, and more than 1,000 injections I watched go into the flesh of my wife's body, while she made it all possible, I wasn't sure we'd ever get here 2 kids later. But by the grace of God and with the strength of selflessness of one of the most incredible partners I could have asked for, we've been blessed with these kids, and my life and my mountain has changed. This mountain moved aside, and I did not move it alone. And if I can take anything away from the past 18 years, or better yet, for the first 36 years of my life, it's this. If you don't address moving your mountain early, it settles. And when it settles, it grows. Like tectonic plates shifting beneath the surface during hard times, the pressure builds silently, invisibly, until one day it feels completely immovable. You see, the one thing about these very mountains is the longer we ignore them, the more permanent they become. But one thing is certain: you were never meant to move those mountains alone. So if there's a mountain in your life, don't wait for it to become a monument. Start with your stone and let others help you lift the ones around it. To each of our speakers tonight, I'm humbled by your bravery. Thank you for reminding us what resiliency looks like. Thank you for helping us to see the real struggle doesn't roar, it rises. And look at you, Chelsea, becoming a mom of what that might mean to you, an ambassador, and how you constitute bravery every day. Rosa, I look at your resiliency to endure the unfathomable and to somehow come out ahead and smiling. And I think of you, Christian, and how you served our country, and how you wake up to continue to serve with a mentality as if you are still flying with your wings. And I look at you, Adam, and what it must be like to maybe see a career pass you by, but even a greater one that lies ahead, with a finish line that only you can pass. And I think of you, Natalie, and how you've taken on this spirit of an attitude. And you've redefined what mountains look like in your life through a profound perspective, to know that the mountain is only as large as you make it in your mind. Each of you, you've moved mountains on your own. And every one of you here in this crowd has done exactly just that yourself. Whether it's been your own mountains of grief, loss, limitation, social isolation, or maybe even your dreams shattered, you've stood in front of those mountains and said, I will not be defined by this. In fact, that's the very precipice of how you sit here today, a better and stronger being. You've redefined what it means to adapt. You've reimagined what it looks like to fight. You've inspired everyone in this room, including us on stage, that moving forward is not only possible, in fact, it's the only direction. And for all of us, we've all chosen here on this stage tonight, the 6 of us, to not just speak, but to invite all of you, our supporters and our donors, in. And because of that, every single person in this room is leaving changed. And to you, our donors, the mountains you've moved. You may not always see the direct result of your giving, but I do. You may not know every name, every face, or every story that you touch, but I do. And I promise you, the ripple effect of your generosity has reached farther than you'll ever know. Because of you, a mother was able to put her child through therapy for the first time. Because of you, somebody regained the confidence to apply for a job again. And because of you, a family felt seen, felt held, felt hope. You've already done so much, and tonight I'm not asking you to do more. I'm asking you to just simply move your stone. What's the next one you're going to move? It may be your continuation of support for us. It may be encouraging someone else to join this mission. Or at the very least, it may be speaking up for another cause, another person that you deeply care about, and bringing awareness to a space that is very invincible. It may be something personal, a challenge you're carrying, a relationship that needs healing, a mountain in your own life that's waiting to be moved. But whatever it is, don't let the size of the mountain deter you from saying, yes, I'm ready. So let's go back to where we started tonight. You don't have to move the whole mountain. You just have to move your stone. Your stone may feel small. Your role, your purpose, it might seem insignificant to you, but let me just tell you, when it's stacked beside every other person's stone in this crowd, it becomes this massive monument that we all can only move together. One voice alone can be powerful, but many voices together is a force. One act of generosity makes the world of difference, but many acts changes the landscape of our world. Your purpose is not what you do. It's in what happens in and through others when you do what you're doing. Thank you for every stone you've moved, for every step you've walked beside me, and for the mountains we'll continue to move together. So let's keep climbing, building, and believing. Thank you for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure of mine, of ours, of my family's, of the foundation's. And for our 5 guest speakers, can we please just give them a roar and a force of applause? So I would like to thank you for coming tonight. That an opportunity for us to commune together comes in just 6 months' time. On April 18th, we'd love for you to join us at our annual scholarship gala. It's going to be yet again in Pomona at the Pomona Fairplex. And yes, we are going to have a casino night. Ricky, we're going to gamble. We're going to have fun. We are going to do it like they did it in Ocean's 11. So we want you to come pull off a great heist with us on April 18th. We want to steal back people's dignity, their hope, and we can do that with you. We can't wait to see you there. So I would love to thank every one of you for being here tonight. Our painter, Tom Clark. Our guitarist, Russell. Jennifer, Tom, and the team here at the Rivian Theater. Please enjoy your night and be safe. I'm looking back at my dad right now. He asked me earlier today, so are we going to invite everybody back to our house? I'm doing the invite. If you want to come up to the Laguna house, come hang out with us. Sorry, Pops, we're having a late night. These people jump. supply the booze and the good times. You've just got to bring your heart. So let's hang out. This place closes up in about 15 minutes time. Let's leave this place as we found it. And if anything else, I hope your heart leaves changed tonight. So I love you all. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Have a good night.